Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your source for Second Amendment news. This is an update to the video that I posted on November 5th, which told everybody that a bill was filed in New York in which anybody who wants to get a license or a permit to carry or possess firearms in New York, the state and city, would now, they would now looking at utilizing your social media history and your search engine history for a period of 3 years. Now, when I came to the YouTube webs on November 5th, it was just scuttlebutt. It was a draft bill. There were no numbers, and it was a lot of, hey, Jared, this is what's going on. Get this word out. Well, now I have the bill. I have the number. I actually have the text. I'm going to read to you from the bill, and then I'll tell you what this means or what this could mean going forward. So first off, the bill is S9191, and it was drafted by State Senator Kevin Parker from New York's 21st Congressional District. The working title of the bill is an act to amend the penal law in relation to requiring social media and search engine reviews prior to the approval of an application or renewal of the license to carry or possess a pistol or revolver. So this isn't just for new permits. This is going to be for renewals too, should this pass. And by all counts that I have right now, this is probably going to pass. This is currently in committee, but we'll get to that. So first off, the bill in its current form is going to have issues, I believe, even in the sanctuary of New York. For instance, it violates the First, the Second, the Fourth, the Fifth, and the 14th Amendments. So hopefully the give and take that's going to take place once it gets out of committee and goes to what they call the Assembly. There's a Senate Assembly and a General Assembly, I believe, in New York. But it has to go through the bill process. So this is not the final version yet, but it's probably going to be something really, really close, because we know that the SAFE Act in New York violates all kinds of constitutional rights too, and they passed that. So I have the actual bill here on electronic form, and I will have a link in the description for you as well. And I'm going to read you right from it so that you hear right from the horses' mouths, what they're looking for. All right, so the beginning, the first 53 and a half lines explain what you need to do for the process of application, whereas New York City has a separate one compared to the rest of the state, and your picture and how you need a duplicate of everything, blah, blah, blah. This is where the meat of it is. Line 54. In order to ascertain whether any social media account or search engine history of an applicant presents any good cause for denial of a license, the investigating officer shall, not may, shall, after obtaining the applicant's consent pursuant to the subdivision 3 of this section and obtaining any login name, password, or other means for accessing a personal account, service, or electronic communications device necessary to review such applicant's social media accounts and search engine history, review an applicant's social media accounts for the previous 3 years and search engine history for the previous 1 year, and investigate an applicant's posts or searches related to 1. Commonly known profane slurs or biased language used to describe the race, color, national origin, ancestry, gender, religion, religious practice, age, disability, or sexual orientation of a person. Number 2, threatening the health or safety of another person. Number 3, an act of terrorism. Or number 4, any other issue deemed necessary by the investigating officer. For the purposes of this subdivision, social media accounts shall only include Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. So everybody who's still on MySpace, you're good to go. And search engines should only include Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So if you're on Mozilla Firefox, you're good to go. If you have any of that other stuff and you live in New York and you have a permit that's coming up for renewal, or you're in the process of getting to the age or the process of applying for the first time, you need to wipe your stuff now. Because if this passes, they're going to look at everything. I hope this doesn't pass, but it's New York. So some version of it is probably going to pass. The key of this, the dangerous part, is number 4. Not that any of this is acceptable. It's all violations of freedom of speech, search and seizure, Second Amendment, due process, all kinds of stuff. But the telling one is number 4, any other issue deemed necessary by the investigating officer. That is so vague that as an investigating officer, any purpose needed. So while I'm looking at your Facebook, say, and one of your friends makes a stupid comment, I can click onto that and check that thread and see if you commented any way in that, or if there was a friend of a friend who clicked onto that. Now I can spread off into a huge, vast internet area and try to jam you up if I really wanted to. That is so wrong, so unconstitutional. I hope that New York sees that this is bad, but I wanted to bring this to you in detail to follow up on the video I did on November 5th, which was when they first started talking about this. And on November 14th, it was assigned to the Rules Committee, and which is where it sits right now because of the holiday break and etc. So for New York, the layout is once it passes the committee, if it passes in its current form, it'll go onto the floor calendar, and then it'll go to the state Senate and the state Assembly, which is their version of the House. If it passes there and they work out any issues, changes, tweaks, or whatever, goes to the governor. And you know that the communist, the Marxist, the ultra-liberal who hates the NRA, Governor Cuomo, is going to sign it. So again, I will have these links in the description, both so you can follow the timeline and you can actually read the bill itself. If you live in New York, you need to know this. If you know somebody in New York, they need to know this. Please pass this on. Please forward this to any groups you know. If you happen to know somebody who might be in the media who can get this out much more rapidly than I can, please drop a dime, let them know about this video, pass it on. I only want the word to get out as fast as possible because this is getting bad. The House is going to switch to Democrat control in January, and they're already stacking the deck for what is going to be a very, very staunch attack on the Second Amendment starting the first week of January. With that said, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I will have all of the details as fast as it happens right here on Guns and Gadgets in regards to all the bills coming down, anti-gun, or anything else, anything I smell coming up, or any other new states that are turning towards red flag bills. There's a lot coming. So to do that, to stay on top of it, you can join here, click the button right below here, hit subscribe, and hit the bell next to it so you can get all the heads up of when I put out new content, as long as YouTube still does that for me. So New York Senate Bill S9191 is in motion. It is very, very bad, looking to utilize your social media against you when it comes to the Second Amendment in New York. Bad times coming, guys and gals. Bad times are coming. I appreciate you all more than you know. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry your weapon, subscribe to this channel. Take care, everybody.